Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiered with a bang, literally picking up right after the shocking explosion that left Grey Sloan Memorial in chaos. The season opened with tension, heartbreak, and uncertainty as several beloved doctors' lives hung in the balance. What started as a normal day at the hospital quickly turned into a fight for survival. And by the end of the premiere, the fallout made it clear that nothing at Grey Sloan Memorial would ever be the same again. Season 21 had already hinted that big changes were coming. With a new wave of interns joining the program, fans knew that not everyone from the old guard would be safe. Over the years, Grey's Anatomy has developed a reputation for constantly reinventing itself, saying painful goodbyes to familiar faces while welcoming new ones. But even with that in mind, the Season 22 premiere felt especially heavy. It wasn't just about who would survive. It was about how the explosion would reshape the hospital's future. The episode began in the immediate aftermath of the blast, with panic spreading through the corridors of Grey Sloan. Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, who was safely outside the building when the explosion hit, quickly realized how devastating the situation was for her colleagues still trapped inside. As first responders arrived, scenes inside the hospital painted a grim picture. Smoke, debris, and the sounds of alarms echoed through the halls as doctors and nurses scrambled to save patients and each other. One of the doctors hit hardest by the explosion was Atticus Lincoln, Chris Carmack. The orthopedic surgeon, known for his steady composure and close friendship with Jo Wilson, Camilla Luddington, found himself in a life-threatening situation when part of the OR floor collapsed, crushing his chest beneath heavy debris. While viewers have seen Grey Sloan's doctors survive plenty of disasters over the years, Linc's condition immediately stood out as one of the most critical cases. Meanwhile, Ben Warren, Jason George, was frantically searching for his wife, Miranda Bailey, Chandra Wilson, amidst the chaos. Thankfully, he found her safe, though both were deeply shaken by the destruction surrounding them. As they tried to help others, they discovered Linc pinned beneath the wreckage. Owen Hunt, Kevin McKidd quickly joined the rescue efforts, and together, they managed to free Linc, but his injuries were catastrophic. As the team began to move him down the hospital stairs for emergency surgery, Linc's condition worsened. He began bleeding profusely, and despite the team's best efforts, his heart stopped just after he managed to speak to Jo via radio. The emotional moment between them, brief but heartbreaking, underscored how fragile life can be at Grey Sloan. Jo's devastation was palpable as she waited helplessly for updates alongside Richard Weber, James Pickens Jr., who himself had sustained a head laceration. The tension reached its peak when Amelia Shepard, Caterina Scorsone, tried to assist in Linc's surgery but was too emotionally overwhelmed to continue. Feeling responsible for the events that led to the explosion, Amelia's guilt rendered her unable to focus in the OR. She was forced to leave, struggling with the possibility that she might lose someone she deeply cared about. Fortunately, after a grueling operation, the surgical team finally stabilized Linc, giving Jo and the rest of the staff a moment of relief, at least for now. However, the same couldn't be said for everyone. Dr. Monica Beltran, Natalie Morales, faced a tragic fate that reminded fans why Grey's Anatomy is known for its devastating losses. Trapped beneath a heavy light column in the OR, Monica was in grave danger from the start. Despite her injuries, she stayed conscious long enough to help her colleague Jules Millen, Adelaide Kane, continue an emergency surgery on their 6-year-old patient. Even as she struggled to breathe, Monica guided Jules through the procedure, determined to save the young girl's life. As the operation went on, it became increasingly clear that Monica's condition was deteriorating. She was in severe pain but refused to stop giving instructions. Her bravery and composure highlighted the dedication that defines the doctors of Grey Sloan Memorial even in their final moments. Tragically, just as the patient was stabilized, Monica lost consciousness. When Jules checked her pulse, she realized that Monica had succumbed to her injuries. It was a devastating loss, and the weight of her death hung over the remainder of the episode. Monica's passing marked another chapter of heartbreak in a series that has never shied away from emotional gut punches. Her death not only affected the interns who had come to admire her, but also served as a reminder of the dangers the staff faces daily. For Jules, witnessing Monica's sacrifice will likely serve as a defining moment in her journey as a surgeon.